What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Today's video, we're going to be doing some PvP action here, doing some live arena. We're going to finish up the seasons here. We got 1320 as the target, and that's going to get us the milestone rewards of these milestone rewards, 100 mythical relics, so then we can get our aspect of Suroth. Just joking, it's actually a 20% chance at getting a mythical relic. Just joking, it's actually an aspect of Suroth. But anyways, we got a couple wins here that we have to get to reach that mark. And yeah, we'll talk through how our season went, and we'll go through some of the things that have been working for us and have not been working for us. All right, so we're pretty knee deep into this Mercurial meta here, and obviously there's a big shakeup for the entire PvP scene. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what works, what doesn't work, what you guys should be looking towards if you guys want to have a better time against this gear set. For me personally, I usually open with Fabian, so if I get first pick, I'm probably like 99% opening with Fabian. He's just very unique to my account, giving me the lockout. It's also very good in this meta because he has the multi-hits, which can help go through the stacks. It's already a pretty rough start for us. We got Solinar, Neve here, also with the block damage, very, very nasty champions. If I don't get to pick Fabian, I'm going to go with my second kind of support champion, which is going to be Hilvi. All right, so this is what we're going to go with here. Dauntel is going to help counter the Fabian a little bit. Solinar for me is like 99% ban. There's not too many champions that I would ban over Solinar, maybe Bayek in some teams. This is going to be a pretty tough team. Yeah, Sifi's a good pick here against the Commodus, but Predator hidden behind these block damage shields are going to be pretty tough. So let's see how well we can do. Probably going to be playing locked out here. We're going to hope that our champions are a little bit faster than his nukers. Might not be the case. Oh, looks like Sifi goes first. Let's see. Protected block debuff is going to help us here against the Commodus. Not going to help us too much against this Predator. Let's see how well that's going to go. I have been seeing a little bit less Predators. Oh, man, a strip. Good thing we went first. If we didn't go first, we probably would have lost right away because of the Commodus. But here we go. We got the counter to the lockout. So our Donatello comes in. And we get to do some stuff here. Who do we want to do? Probably kill the Fabian. That was pretty bad. I wasn't sure. We didn't land our stuff. One got resisted. So that was pretty bad. One of the debuffs got resisted. Okay, so health swap with the CO. We can't land the CO. No point health swapping, so we'll probably just A1. He's going to lose block damage as soon as he takes a turn. Oh, we're going to wake him up here. That kind of sucks. A little bit of bad timing. The Predator's so slow. Oh, he's not strong enough to kill off our guys. So actually, our Carnage died, but his Swift Parry procced. Can we steal stuff? Let's shut down the Predator with the health swap. Didn't land the seal. Oh, yeah, he has block debuff. Sorry. Nope, not strong enough. All right, so she goes down. Predator's still a threat. Still a threat. Can't sleep him. Don't want chance of Juan coming back, so we're just going to use the A2. Oh, he has the Servitude on. No wonder. I was like, how come it takes so long to kill this guy? All right, this should do it. There we go. He has the Servitude relic, which means he doesn't take any crits under a certain amount of health. So that makes him a little bit more tankier, but So what's been working for me? Obviously taking multi-hit champions. So I mentioned Fabian being a top pick. Sorry. So I always pick him first. He also brings the cooldown lockout, which is very very nice. That's one of the few ways you can kind of play against mercurial sets. Obviously, you can't, or you strip them all off with hits. So the other way you kind of play against them is bring somebody with AoE multi hits. So the best one would be somebody like Marius, very very powerful, obviously. Um, Now I find this combination a little bit harder to deal with when I pick Fabian and they pick my next two best champions, which is Marius and Hilvi. Um, Neve is a pretty high pick for me in terms of my supports. For DPS, I can go a couple of different routes. Usually, I find if I pick Empress, they pick Carnage, and then I have a tough time. I really like Carnage in this meta. Like this whole month, I've been picking Carnage pretty high. He gives me opportunities to win against teams that I probably shouldn't win against. Um, and he counters some of the really strong champions out there. Like, for example, he can help me win against like Galthier, against Theodosa, against he takes care of Empress really easily, for example. And I find myself having a hard time playing against him. In this case, we're gonna go up against this Arbase, who's going to outspeed us most likely. Let's see, this this guy, Nell. Nell's kind of filthy too. Block damage. Do we go against block damage here? We can take our brand new chicken out for a spin. And I think our last pick will be, could go for lockout. Let's take a cleanser here. Actually, no. Yeah, let's take a cleanser here. Yeah, let's take a cleanser. I think I would have picked Hilvi in Donatel's spot, but he took Hilvi. So here we'll probably just ban Arbase. Actually, we could ban Hilvi. We might even get a chance to go afterwards. Actually, no. Let's ban Arbase. Okay. We don't have too many buffs, so Nail's not going to be too effective against us, but we do have a pretty squishy-ish team here. We don't have a reviver, but we're probably going to go first. Probably going to lock him out. Okay. Everybody is locked out, but he has two mythicals. Okay. Turn meter boost. Kill off this Marius. And then everybody gets the debuffs. There you go. Carnage helping out again. Counterattacks as well. Very strong against Mercurial stacks. That's it. GG. Chicken, very strong. The chicken is very strong in both forms. Yeah, I really like it. Obviously, I just pulled the 5-star for him, so that makes a big difference. Gives him the crit damage and all that. And yeah, I could still improve his build a little bit. I didn't fix his build or anything, so he's still running like the 4th tier defense damage set. All right, what is it? Cerberus clan. I do have a couple of like kind of niche picks that I pick once in a while. I don't pick a lot of these champions a lot. I basically rotate through the same 6 to 8 champions all the time. So here you pick both as DPS champions. These are pretty strong. Predator, Marius. Obviously, I'm going to pick some kind of protection, and then I'm going to pick Carnage. Carnage plays well, decently well against Predator, that I find anyways. And those are his 2 supports. Pretty good supports. I took away the Hilvi, which I really like. So the other champion that I kind of like to play against Predator is actually Harima. Harima's passive really helps in just keeping things a little bit under control. Um, in this case, I have to think about what our last pick is going to be. What our support is going to be. We could go for the chicken as well. Chicken's pretty good against the block damage revive here. Um, Harima, it's Harima versus chicken. Let's go with the chicken. Let's give him some playtime, and then we'll go with the Donatello. Donatello is actually really decent against the Predator because it kind of shuts down his single target block revive because he has to worry about his passive. Um, uh, who do I want to ban here? Might just ban Galathier. Leave Hilvey up. Yeah, I'm gonna ban Galathier because he has a block debuff. Block debuff is gonna shut down the Carnage. Yeah, I think this is okay. Leonardo could be a little bit of a mess, especially because he's not locked out. Let's see where this goes. Again, no revive. Uh, I'm going to do something strange here and do A1 into this Mercurial stack. And then we will A1 again into this Mercurial stack. And then we will use the A3 against this Hilvey and see if we can land some debuffs. Kind of do, kind of don't. See how bad this is going to be. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. She's got block actives on, so she's kind of shut down here. And we got the passive to protect against the single target block revive, and everybody has block damage. There you go. Yep, we're looking pretty decent. Pretty decent right now. And let's see if we can strip this, and we kind of don't. Let's heal back up and recover. Looking pretty good. Now he's going to turtle up here. Yep. A little bit annoying. I think we're going to go for the reset. See if we can get the steal off again on Leo here. Heal up again. Can we get the steal off? Oh, we stole a counterattack. Not quite good enough. Not quite good enough. As soon as the stone skin wears off, we can maybe try to debuff him. There we go. He's got his big slam here, though. Might be able to kill a lot. But we'll see. If we get the block damage up, yep, then we're good. We're good. There's always a chance that the block debuffs lands not protected, and then he strips it off if he kills somebody. So there's like a little bit of RNG there. Would really love to kill this Predator. We'll try to go with the AoE decreased defense. It also weakens Leonardo here a little bit. And you know what? I think we can go through the unkillable with his secondary form. Yep, unkillable. There you go. GG. Not too bad. Not too bad there. And there we go. We got the 1320 seasonal points. Let's go through the month here. We got 67% win rate. I think this, like, our win rate is always around here every season. It's always around here. It's between 65 and 68. Never really deviates much. Um, I'm not too sure what that really tells you. I mean, the meta has changed, so I figured like I have decent adaptability to metas, or the matchmaking is just very consistent, at least for me. Yeah, I'm always in the 65 to 68% win rate. Let's pick up this stuff. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, stuff here, it's okay. Nothing too crazy, but I would really love if they put like if they doubled the primal acquisition rate, that would be nice. If they doubled it, like make it 8, then everyone gets an extra 4 primals a month. I think that would go a long way. Running stuff in the background is really nice, so I find that pretty good. Um, Obviously, doing stuff while playing live arena makes live arena less, less of a a chore, I guess, because now you don't have to worry about foregoing, your events and stuff like that, while you can still focus on live arena. Let's finish off the last 2 fights here from this bag, and yeah, we'll keep talking about live arena here a little bit. All right, so we got this draft against this draft. Pretty okay, I guess. I'm not sure who to ban. I think we probably just ban the lockout and hope that this Commodus doesn't nuke us. He might just ban, like, if he bans Neve, nukes us, everybody should die. Maybe Donatello resists, and then Hilvy should live with Mercurial, and then we'll just revive everybody. So it shouldn't be too bad, but let's see where this goes. Let's see who he bans. Probably going to ban Neve here for the block damage. And a little bit of a delay. You could probably argue banning Arbiter too. Oh, that's interesting. He bans the he bans the Carnage. That's really interesting. It's kind of a bad thing. Like I said, like Carnage helps us beat guys like Nice and stuff. Oh, a pretty slow Arbiter here. Yeah, let's see if we can freeze her. No, we can't. We got 2 wand of submissions on both of them. Okay, Commodus with 9-piece Mercurial. Probably gonna try to strip our stuff. Get some of it, I guess. Okay, Arbiter's down. We're gonna go for the reset here, just because we used up some of our abilities already. The AoE shouldn't be too bad here, I think. And the single target won't do anything. But I would prefer him go for the AoE, just because Nice also has a single target, which is which can block revive. So that's probably what he's thinking right now. So hopefully Donatello's passive still works. Yes, Donatello's passive worked, saved us. There we go. GG. No gear, just falls apart. Like it's like beef brisket, right? You just like pull it and just falls apart. There you go. Team just falls apart. All right, let's do the last fight here. All right, so this time we get the first pick. Like I said, we're gonna go Fabian. Pretty much almost always been working out pretty good. We'll show the champs later on. I'll show you guys what champs I kind of don't pick anymore, and what champs I basically pick all the time. You guys can get a rough sense. We've only played like 5 games, but you guys get a rough sense of what works for me and what which champs I kind of lean on the most. Ooh, this is interesting. Hecaton. I've only played Hecaton once, and he was pretty effective. A cleanser would be nice. Um, Hilvy's and Mercurial, so it's like Hilvy's and Mercurial. Probably take the block damage, guys. So it's probably gonna look something like this. The other option would be somebody like Maria. Maria could be interesting too. Um, it should be okay. We'll play the chicken a little bit more here. Yumiko. Okay, interesting. So can we play locked out? Probably not, right? I'd prefer not to play locked out. The problem with playing locked out is that Carnage is a lot weaker. But because the block debuffs are out, Carnage is going to get a little bit countered here too. This isn't the best. Isn't the best spot for us for sure. Hekaten has the provoke with the enfeeble, which is very nasty. We can't really strip too much, and we're not likely to freeze the Galthier, so I think we're just take off this Mercurial stack. Okay, so he gets the hits first. We have block damage up, so that's okay. Oh, that sucks. Oh, yes, we got the wand off. That's pretty huge. I would like to do a health swap, please. Health swap you. There we go. You're gone. Okay. Got the single target hit, and chicken goes down. Chicken comes back up. And we got the strip. Got a couple of them, not bad. And now we get to do our nasty stuff here. There we go, Carnage with the counterattacks. Gonna heal up here. Increase defense. Transform. And we'll try to blow through this block damage. And we do-ish. He did have the Mercurial stack, unfortunately. Can we take it off? I think he blew the revive already. Yep. Oof. Close. Almost there. He's got the single target hit, I think, still up. No, it's going to go for the stuns. Didn't work. And we got to save this one. So maybe we'll just do this. Just kill him off. Let's do the AoE. Let's do the AoE to break the Mercurial stack. There you go. Galthier's down. Strip and freeze. There we go. We got him. And then we saved the block damage. Oh my god. It's still not enough. Okay. He's shut down now. There you go. GG. All right, so not bad. I mean, we played 5 fights. We won all 5 of them. Competition roughly about the same. We got a couple lower level ones, 9,000, 13,000, 19,000, level 93 here as well. But up against some pretty good champs, right? These are good champs. But you guys can kind of see like where I'm kind of leaning on in terms of the champions that I pick. We'll go over the champions here. Ending, we got 68%. We boosted up by 1% from those last 2 wins. But we ended off the season with 67% win rate. Recently used, so let's see by rank. So recently used. So Carnage, I'm still running him in Stone Skin, Swift Parry. Usually this is probably the preferred build. I've seen Carnage in 9-piece Mercurial, and I can tell you it's super annoying. And it probably works pretty well. He isn't really a champion that you get too many extra turns from. The three stacks of Makiro just makes him super annoying. I think Swift Parry may be a little bit better, but it's hard to argue that Mercurial gives you quite a bit of protection for the champion. For me, I just have him a little bit fast with some damage and some accuracy. He definitely wanted him with good amounts of accuracy because his value comes from his A3. If he doesn't land this, then it's going to be not that good of a fight. You don't really transform him often. Usually it's for like a finishing blow, or if you really need to go through unkillable. Like unkillable is it's a conditional kill, right? So you have to be careful about that. But yeah, you don't really transform him too much. But he's definitely one of the main champions I use a lot. He's very good against Mercurial with the multi-hits, the counterattacks, and all that stuff. Lately, I've been using the chicken more. If you guys been watching recently, I pulled the 5-star chicken, 5-star soul for him, which gives him a pretty big stat boost for the blessings, 45 crit damage, of course, and then the extra resistance and accuracy, and the plus defense as well. So that was a pretty big jump. He had no blessing, and then instantly goes up to 5-star blessing. Like I did mention that he is in kind of like maybe like 4th tier defense base gear. My first 3 sets are on Harima, Marius, and Leonardo. So of those 3, I've used all 3 of them in different kind of capacities. Like I use Leonardo in the turtle team for some arena attacks. So he still needs to be pretty well geared. Marius I use all the time. And then Harima, you guys can see I do use once in a while as well. So I mean, if anything, I'll probably take the gear off of Harima, but these are the total stats of my Galus. I would love an extra like 30 speed on this guy. 250, I definitely feel is too low. I would love a little bit more accuracy so he can land the provokes, but it's not something I'm really shooting for. Yeah, some whatever gear, right? We got some savage pieces here. We don't really run savage too much. We only have a Talon. Now I can definitely upgrade this. It's I can use the spear. And speaking of upgrades, I actually pulled this off camera. I've been pulling relics off camera, but I got really lucky and I hit one of the 20% chances to get a mythical from the Grim Forest relics, and I hit the lens of intangibility. Now this is really strong. This is one of the strongest damage dealing relics in the game, giving you a good amount of ignore defense. It doesn't give you crit damage, which the Cat's Gaze does, for example, but it gives you a ton of speed. So it gives you 24 speed. So I haven't picked a champion to put this on yet because it costs so much. It costs so much of these soul stones to move them around. So I just want to be sure before I commit to a champion. But I think I'll probably put him on Marius, maybe, just to give him a little bit more protection. But I find like the veil is not really necessary for Marius because he usually goes first. So I'm not too sure which champion would get this. I don't have a predator myself, so that would have been the other choice. Yeah, so I have that. I might just put it on the chicken. I don't know. The chicken can be CC'd in the base form, I think. So he's not, he can be shut down pretty hard. So maybe the veil helps him out there. But so far I'm liking him. He hits pretty good. It's pretty good. Good champ. This is one of my main support champions, Hilvi, the rhyme called 9-piece Mercurial. I had this built from the 2nd month. I haven't really improved too much upon it. In terms of like speeds pieces, just haven't gotten any more luck. But we got some good pieces here. It's hard to beat. The shield and the weapon, I'm surprised I haven't gotten better. Like double speed and a double speed here, I guess. Single roll. I haven't really gotten better than those ones. The glove's going to be hard to beat. The bottom piece is going to be impossible to beat. And then this helm's going to be impossible to beat for a little while at least. And then we got the boot. So I'm really looking for upgrades. I can probably hit her like 400 speed if I can get some half decent upgrades on the weapon and shield. Weapon and shield are just easier to get to as well. So you just get these more often. So you get more rolls on them. So eventually they'll get upgraded. And then this banner can definitely get an upgrade too. It's only 5 base speed here. But Hilvi definitely very strong. The ability that hasn't shined really well is this ability. It's a touchless strip ability. First of all, touchless doesn't work too well in Mercurial meta. Secondly, the strip ability doesn't work against Mercurial, so that sucks. And then freeze. I'm still finding that the freeze is not super great. It doesn't work super consistently because obviously wand still exists. So a lot of times this ability is really hit or miss, to be honest, really hit or miss. This A1 multi-hits fine, decent against the Mercurial stacks, and of course this revive is really good. I do have the Chrysalis on her, which makes her overly busted, but yeah, and then she does run the 6-star banner. I was thinking maybe changing up the banner to something else, but I find the banner still very strong. Neve, 9-piece protection build hasn't changed in probably like 6 months or something. No real improvements anywhere. Running aspect of Suroth, which has been working out really well, especially when predators try to single target her down with the block revive. They get a very nasty surprise when the aspect of Suroth saves her. So I really like that. Life Harvest is an easy slam dunk for Neve here as a passive. The meta is moving towards more champions that can deal with block revive. So she's actually probably fallen off a little bit. There's just more champions that can deal with, sorry, not block revive, block damage. There's just more champions that can deal with it now. So her stock's fallen off a little bit, to be honest. It's definitely not rising. It's probably falling. So that's something to be aware of for the future. Donatello, also one of my better support champions. Very nice. He is in Chronophage. Protects him against some of the lockouts out there. It doesn't protect him against Crixia. Protects him against like Fabian. And then he is in a stone skin set, 1 turn. He's moderately fast. He's decent geared with decent resistance, 960 resistance. I can't really juice him up anymore. I would like him to be like 350 speed so he can go before Neve, for example. But I'm finding it a little bit difficult to get the proper rolls. Maybe if I take him to 6-star, I can get the speed up, but it's pretty tough. A lot of the pieces of gear are like maxed out. Like we got legendary, mythical, and then all the rolls are going pretty good, right? They're all going into speed and resistance. We even have the mythical roll and resistance as well. Triple speed here. Obviously, you want to balance out some HP. We did get the Volcardiac Heart on him. I think it's pretty good. The heart does help against, Marius. Actually saves us against Leonardo once in a while as well when he does the big slash and he just kills himself. So it's kind of nice. And then we do have Wearer gains additional resistance when enemies are attempting to, CC him. So we got some of these nice gems that protects him a little bit. And then we are running Lightning Cage just to protect, his buffs from getting stripped off. Occasionally he does get, CC and stripped off and cool down and stuff. People just, especially against Crixia, which has the ignore 20% resistance, which is very strong. But I still like him. His passive is really good. Again, for Predator, just, little surprise if they're not paying attention. His passive will save us against the single target attack. Or Nice, for example. Marius, still one of the main champions used in this meta, very heavily leaned on to remove Mercurial. A lot of people have moved on Marius to be just like a super fast champion, just as the Mercurial stack remover. And I think that's perfectly fine, especially if you have something like Stormcaller. Stormcaller gives him additional damage and it gives him additional utility with the stuns. But for me, I don't have Stormcaller, so I think going all out into that kind of build just kind of pigeonholes him into like a support role. If you have Stormcaller, then he can still do damage and he can still be a support champion for you. For me, I'm still having him in a damage build here. He's pretty fast. He's in my best, he's in some of the best gear on my account, of course. He's 6-star. He's 8k defense, 352 crit damage with almost 330 speed. Still running Wand on him. Like I said, I might move the lens here, which gives him an additional 15 speed, which is pretty nice. And it's going to boost up his damage quite a bit. And he will get some survivability from the Veil. But yeah, this build still works pretty fine for me. He's still like, fast enough that he's going to go and remove the stacks before the rest of my attackers attack. Fabian, again, lean on this guy heavily. He's going to be my first pick overall almost always. I just have him super fast. He is susceptible to things like Cavalax, but I don't see Cavalax too often. And he's running Temporal Chains. Temporal Stagnator, just to give him a little bit of disruption when the weak hits come. And then CV actually gets a little bit of play nowadays, but she's mostly like a last pick. And I mainly use her for the block debuffs. And she only shows up if I have a speed lead with the need for the block debuffs. So like against Commodus, for example. Although you don't see Commodus too often nowadays. We saw him a couple times today. So those were the champions that I used today. Now, in terms of the champions that I kind of don't use too often nowadays, or champions that I kind of use more often than others. Like for example, I did use Carnage more often than somebody like Embreeze. Embreeze I still use, and he's still good, especially if he want to utilize some strategy with his block revive on his A1. So, for example, if you're playing against a lockout team and you know your first form is going to get locked out, you're going to lean on his second form. Maybe try a strategy where you try to go in and cleave off their single, damage dealer, right? For example, that's just an example. Now, the other champion here is Garo. Garo, have her built pretty well. Low star blessing. And she does pretty good work. I find that her secondary form is pretty strong, but it doesn't have too many ways to survive. So I really like opening with obviously the unkillable and then transforming into the secondary form so that she has a couple more turns of, basically durability. So I find that if I'm fighting against a lockout, she doesn't really show up. I've seen Gero in 9-piece Mercurial as well, which is very, very nasty. Personally speaking, I would love another champion that's a damage dealing champion with a speed aura. That's another reason why I favor Carnage quite a lot, because he is the speed aura. We only really have 3 speed auras that we use regularly, and that's going to be Carnage, Hilvi, and Fabian. If I don't get those guys, then I have to do a go second team, and I don't think I have the strong enough supports. Like for example, if you grab Hilvi and Fabian from me, I'm left with kind of not too much left. Like I'll be like probably Neve and then Donnie with a couple of other damage dealers, but then Carnage would be my only speed lead. I also mentioned that, Maris gets picked, my Harima gets picked. So all these damage dealers, they don't have speed leads. So I would love a damage dealer with a speed lead. Champion that doesn't work in this meta is somebody like Sulfuron. Sulfuron's value definitely dropped off. He doesn't place the HP burns through Mercurial. And even if half the team has Mercurial on, then Sulfuron's effectiveness like definitely goes out the window. So this guy is just like a no pick for me anymore. I used to pick him all the time, and I was like working towards him for the 6-star. And he's a great champ, don't get me wrong, but the Mercurial stacks just not allowing HP burn to go through is just really nasty. Another champion I don't pick anymore is actually White Queen and Cora. I find her a little bit one-dimensional, a little bit slow. Maybe if she was a 9-piece Mercurial and she was like way faster, it might be a little bit different. She's still good, but I just find like her overall benefits not there anymore. Champion that I've been using a little bit more, Sanguine Maria. She's very solid. I have her 9-piece Mercurial. I don't have a crit damage amulet, so she would be hitting a little bit harder if she did. A little bit on the slow side, unfortunately. I don't have the great speed pieces, but lots of areas to upgrade. We have the Thunderbolt speed on her just for additional stats. And she has worked out decently well when I picked her. Sometimes I'll pick her if I'm facing like a lockout, for example, and I can't avoid it. She comes in pretty clutch because you get the extra turns quite frequently. Let's see. Another champion that's kind of been showing up for me is Glacea. Glacea is actually pretty decent as well. 9-piece Mercurial set build here. She just helps counter some of the lockout stuff that happens. I wouldn't say that she's extremely good, but she is a little bit annoying to play against if you're constantly trying to lock us out, and then you're winning the 50% coin flips, and then the lockouts are failing, and she's getting extra turns, she's freezing you, and she's doing all the nasty stuff. But she can be kind of fun, and she's kind of like ban bait too. Some people just like to ban her. Another champion I don't ever use anymore, especially since Mercurial, is Calvalax. Calvalax, same kind of reason why Sulfuron fell off, is because you can't really guarantee that Calvalax can do anything, because up against Mercurial, he doesn't do anything. Stone Skin doesn't do anything. And the speed meta is definitely falling off behind. So Calvalax, just a no-go pick for me anymore unless you really know the enemy roster. Another champion that's kind of a no-go for me nowadays is like Wukong. Wukong I used to pick all the time because he has the speed lead. He's a huge threat. He has survivability. But I don't pick him anymore, mainly because of Mercurial, multiple stacks. He's a single target, single hit champion, right? So he hits hard. I have him built pretty well, but he hits once per attack, which is not ideal in this meta. So I don't really pick him up too often anymore. just because of that weakness. Same goes for Rotos. Rotos also very tough to pick in this meta. He does get extra turn mechanics. He does have Merciless, 9-piece Merciless set. But yeah, very, very tough to pick him just because we're seeing so much Mercurials sets in this meta. Another champion, Armans. Armans kind of fell off a lot for me. I don't really pick him even in the third support spot. Even if I don't have Fabian, I kind of don't pick this guy. Really tough to make him work. His AoE stuns don't work. His sheep doesn't work. Like it's just rough times. And then, of course, on top of all of that, Wand still exists. Although people are probably, subbing out Wands for better relics nowadays, but Wand is still pretty good, right? Wand is still really strong. So, that's Armans. I'm not saying Armans is totally useless, but Armans definitely gets less used nowadays, at least on my end. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. That's another season in the books. We got that 100 mythical relic material. Maybe we'll save some of those for a crafting video in the future. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. How was your season? What do you guys think about the new Mercurial meta? How's live arena going for everybody? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching till the end. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.